Congratulations, you've made Aliyah. You've landed at Ben Gurion Airport. You've experienced the emotional arrival ceremony. You've cried at passport control, and someone handed you a stack of papers that you're pretending to understand. Somewhere in that stack is a form that's about to become more important to your survival than your passport, your plane ticket home, or your dignity. This form is called the Note of Future Bank Account, and if you lose it, you'll discover new depths of bureaucratic suffering that will make Kafka seem like a cheerful optimist. Picture this. You've just completed a transatlantic flight. You haven't slept properly in 24 hours. You're emotionally overwhelmed by the significance of what you've just done. Your brain is operating at approximately 15% capacity, and in this state, someone hands you 17 different documents in Hebrew, English, and what might be ancient Aramaic, and somewhere in this pile is a form. This unassuming piece of paper, which looks like it could be a parking ticket or a coupon for hummus, is actually your golden ticket to financial survival in Israel. It's your passport to banking, your authorization to adult, your key to receiving money from the government. In the grand hierarchy of Israeli bureaucratic documents, this ranks somewhere between extremely important and guard it with your life and possibly your firstborn child. When you visit a bank to open your account, a bank officer will stamp this form with the gravity of a notary witnessing a royal decree. They'll return it to you, and you'll then need to present this stamped form to Misrad Haklita, the Ministry of Aliyah and Integration, so they can begin the sacred ritual of depositing your Sal Klita payments. Lose this form, and you'll embark on a bureaucratic quest of such Byzantine complexity that you'll seriously consider just living off the land and bartering for goods. I'm not being dramatic. Okay, I'm being a little dramatic. But seriously, this form is important. Laminate it, frame it, sleep with it under your pillow, tattoo the form number on your arm. I'm kidding about that last one, but only barely. Your first instinct upon arriving in Israel might be to settle in, unpack your bags, find an apartment, learn where the grocery store is, figure out which direction is north, and maybe sleep for 72 hours straight. This is a reasonable instinct. This instinct is wrong. Your first priority, possibly before even leaving the airport, definitely before doing anything else, is opening a bank account. Why the urgency? Because the Israeli government would very much like to give you money. They're excited about it. They've budgeted for it. They've set aside specific funds with your name metaphorically attached. But here's the catch that would make any Talmudic scholar proud. They can only give you this money if you have an active Israeli bank account. Not just an open account, an active account. There's a difference that will be explained to you in excruciating detail. The Sal Klita, or absorption basket, provides monthly financial support during your crucial adjustment period. These payments don't wait for you to feel ready. They don't care that you're jet-lagged or overwhelmed or questioning every life decision that led to this moment. They operate on a schedule, and if you don't have an active bank account when payment time arrives, that money doesn't get magically held for you. It just doesn't appear. And then you're living off the emergency cash you brought, watching it dwindle like your optimism when you discover that a bottle of water costs more than your firstborn child. Every day you delay opening your account is another day you're not receiving the financial support you're entitled to. It's another day you're operating in a cash-only economy like some kind of time traveler from the 1950s. It's another day closer to that moment when you'll need to pay rent and realize that your landlord doesn't accept good intentions or promises of future employment. Before you can open your account, you need documents. So many documents. Documents proving you exist, documents proving you're allowed to exist in Israel, documents proving you have money or at least the theoretical possibility of having money someday. Let's break down this bureaucratic scavenger hunt. Your passport is obvious. You need this. It's your primary identification, your proof that you're a real person and not 3 children stacked in a trench coat trying to open a bank account. Your Teudat Ole, or immigrant certificate, is essential. This proves you're not just any random person, but a new immigrant who's entitled to special banking benefits and government support. If you've already received your Teudat Zehut, the Israeli ID card, bring that too. If you haven't received it yet, which is likely because Israeli bureaucracy ensures you can never have all the documents you need at exactly the same time, call the bank first and confirm whether your Teudat Ole alone will suffice. The airport form. The blessed, sacred, do not lose this airport form. Bring it. Guard it. If you've lost it already, I can't help you. May God have mercy on your soul and your banking prospects. You'll need money for an initial deposit. This isn't some massive sum designed to exclude the poor. It's just enough to activate your account, transforming it from a theoretical concept into an actual financial instrument capable of receiving the government money you desperately need. Could be 100 shekels, could be 1,000. The amount doesn't really matter. What matters is the sacred act of deposit, the ritual that brings your account to life like some kind of financial Frankenstein's monster. If you're American, bring your social security number. I know what you're thinking. But isn't Israeli banking supposed to be private and secure? Ha! Ha ha ha! Oh, you sweet summer child! Number. Israeli banks want to know everything about you. Your social security number, your mother's maiden name, your childhood fears, that embarrassing thing you did in 8th grade. This isn't paranoia, it's policy. Something about international tax regulations and definitely not excessive security concerns. Just accept it. Fighting it will only prolong your suffering. If you're married and opening a joint account, both spouses must appear in person. No exceptions. I don't care if one of you has a job interview or is literally in labor. The bank needs to see both of you, presumably to verify that you're real people and not an elaborate fraud scheme involving mannequins and false mustaches. This is non-negotiable. Plan accordingly. Israel has several major banks: Bank Hapoalim, Bank Leumi, Discount Bank, Mizrahi Tefahot, and others. Choosing between them is like choosing between different brands of hummus. Everyone has passionate opinions about which is best. They all insist theirs is superior, and honestly they're all basically the same with minor variations that won't significantly impact your life. Ask 5 Israelis which bank is best, and you'll get 7 different answers, 3 arguments about customer service, 2 complaints about fees, and at least 1 person who will tell you they're all terrible but Bank X is slightly less terrible than the others. The specific bank mentioned will vary depending on who you ask, their personal experience, which bank their cousin works for, and possibly the alignment of the stars. As a new Ole, you'll receive preferential treatment, which in Israeli banking terms means they'll only charge you some fees instead of all the fees. They'll waive your monthly account maintenance fee for a few years, reduce transaction costs, and generally pretend that banking in Israel is affordable. Enjoy this golden period. When it ends, you'll understand why Israelis complain about their banks with the passion usually reserved for political debates. The practical advice? Choose a bank with a branch near your new home. Choose one that your friends recommend. Choose one with good online banking because you'll want to avoid visiting the branch whenever possible. Choose one whose logo you find aesthetically pleasing. Honestly, any criteria will do. You're probably going to be equally satisfied or dissatisfied regardless of which you choose. Making an appointment to open a bank account in Israel isn't like making a dentist appointment or a haircut appointment. It's more like booking a day at the spa, except instead of relaxation and cucumber water, you get bureaucracy and stress. You're not making an appointment, you're booking an experience, a journey, a test of your patience, your resolve, and your ability to smile politely while signing forms you don't fully understand. Arrive at the bank at least 90 minutes before closing time. 2 hours is better. Why? Because this process will take longer than seems physically possible for what should be a simple transaction. You'll sign forms. So many forms. Forms in Hebrew, forms in English, forms that appear to be in languages that haven't been spoken since the Bronze Age. Each form will be carefully explained to you by a bank representative who may or may not speak English, while a growing line of increasingly impatient Israelis behind you telepathically communicates their displeasure with your existence. The bank representative will ask you questions, personal questions, invasive questions, questions about your employment, your housing, your financial history, where your money came from, whether you're sure it's legitimate, and probably what you had for breakfast. Why? Because Israeli banks are very interested in your business. Privacy? What's privacy? This isn't America or Britain or wherever you came from. The bank needs to know everything, ostensibly for security reasons and regulatory compliance, but possibly just because they're curious. You'll be asked about your source of funds. This is code for prove to us that you're not a money launderer or a terrorist. You'll need to explain where your money comes from with the earnestness of someone defending their dissertation. Salary, inheritance, savings, the sale of your home, all perfectly legitimate answers. But you'll need documentation. Always documentation. Israelis love documentation the way some people love cats, excessively and with inexplicable passion. The bank will set up not one account but multiple sub-accounts, a checking account for daily transactions, possibly a savings account, maybe a foreign currency account if you're bringing money from abroad. Each account will have its own number, its own purpose, its own monthly fee. Yes, fee, plural, fees. Fees for existing, fees for using your money, fees for thinking about using your money, fees for reading this sentence about fees. Get comfortable with fees. They're your new roommate, and they're not moving out. Welcome to Israeli banking, where the business model is charge for everything and see what happens. In your previous country, maybe banks tried to attract customers with perks, competitive interest rates, or basic human dignity. In Israel, banks have adopted a different strategy, monetizing breathing. There are fees for ATM withdrawals, fees for transfers, fees for standing orders, fees for cash deposits, fees for currency conversion, fees for having an account, fees for looking at your account, fees for thinking about your account, fees that appear on your statement without explanation, like mysterious charges from a parallel dimension. But here's the beautiful part. As a new Ole, many of these fees are waived for your first few years. You get to enjoy Israeli banking at a discount, like a free trial of suffering. When your preferential period ends, you'll receive your first full statement and finally understand why every Israeli you meet complains about their bank. You'll join the national pastime of bank fee complaining with the enthusiasm of a convert. Now let's talk about Israeli credit cards, which are like regular credit cards except completely different. What Israelis call a credit card is actually a deferred debit card cosplaying as credit. Charges accumulate throughout the month like snow on a roof, and then on one fateful day, everything gets automatically debited from your checking account in one massive withdrawal. It's like a financial avalanche, except scheduled and inevitable. You choose your debit date from a menu of options, all equally inconvenient. The 1st of the month? That's when rent is due. The 15th? That's right after you've recovered from rent. The 25th? Close enough to the next month to be confusing. Choose your poison. True credit, where you can carry a balance and pay over time, exists. But it's like finding a unicorn. The default Israeli system is the monthly mass debit, which means you need to actually have money in your account. Revolutionary concept, I know. This terrifies many Americans who are accustomed to floating on credit fumes and the hope that money will somehow materialize. But Israel offers one genuinely brilliant feature, Tashlumim. This magical system allows you to split purchases over multiple months without interest. Buying a refrigerator for 2,000 shekels, spread it over 6 months. Getting new glasses for 1,500 shekels, 12-month payment plan. It's like layaway but backwards, and it's genuinely helpful until you realize it's eating up your available credit and you can't buy groceries because you're still paying off that refrigerator you bought 6 months ago. Everything's a trade-off. Congratulations! You've survived the bank appointment. You now possess an Israeli bank account, complete with multiple account numbers you'll immediately forget, a debit card arriving in 3 to 7 business days, translation 2 weeks, a checkbook you'll never use because who uses checks anymore? Answer, everyone in Israel, and access to online banking that looks like it was designed in the early 2000s. Your next mission is visiting Misrad HaKlita with your stamped airport form. Make an appointment. Show up with every document you've ever owned, plus a few you'll need to acquire specifically for this meeting. Provide your bank details. Wait some more. Eventually, if you've appeased the bureaucratic gods, money will begin appearing in your account like manna from heaven, except less miraculous and more bureaucratic. One crucial piece of advice that experienced Olim repeat like a mantra: do not change your bank account number for at least a few years. I know you'll be tempted. Maybe your bank's customer service will drive you to despair. Maybe you'll find a better deal elsewhere. Resist. Changing bank accounts while receiving government benefits is like trying to redirect a river mid-flow. It can be done, but it requires Herculean effort, generates enormous paperwork, and there's a significant chance your benefits will disappear into the bureaucratic void for months while various government agencies argue about whose responsibility it is to update your information. Set up online banking immediately. Learn to use it despite its counterintuitive interface. Download the mobile app even though it will confuse you. These digital tools will become essential as your life gets busier and your willingness to visit bank branches approaches zero. At some point, you'll need to move money from your old country to Israel. Your bank can help with this, for a terrible exchange rate and substantial fees. The convenience of using your bank comes at a cost measured in both money and dignity. The post office also offers currency exchange, with rates that range from questionable to "are they serious?" and service quality that varies from surprisingly efficient to "did they forget I'm here?" Your best option? Money changers. Those slightly sketchy-looking shops that proliferate in major cities. Despite their appearance, licensed money changers offer the best rates and fastest service. Just make sure they're actually licensed and not your cousin's friend operating out of a van. Competition among money changers is fierce, so shop around, compare rates, and don't be afraid to negotiate. This is Israel. Everything is negotiable. Pro tip: keep one credit card from your home country. Israeli consumer protection for credit card disputes is, how do I put this diplomatically, less robust than you might hope. If a merchant charges you incorrectly in Israel, your options are politely ask them to fix it or accept your fate. A foreign credit card gives you the backup of your original country's consumer protection laws, which compared to Israel's might as well be superpowers. Long-term banking, learning to love the system. Eventually, this will all become normal. The fees won't shock you anymore. You'll navigate online banking with casual expertise. You'll develop strong opinions about which bank is best, which you'll share with new olim while they nod politely and wonder if they've made a terrible mistake. You'll need to decide whether to keep your foreign bank accounts or consolidate everything in Israel. The answer depends on factors including your financial situation, tax status, whether you travel frequently, whether you own property abroad, and whether you enjoy managing banking in multiple countries and time zones. Consider consulting a financial advisor who specializes in olim finances. These professionals understand the unique challenges of immigrant financial life and can help with tax implications, investment strategies, and retirement planning. Yes, you just arrived and you're thinking about survival, but future you will thank present you for establishing good financial practices early. Some immigrants face unique circumstances. Previous A1 temporary residents transitioning to full immigrant status may encounter special procedures. Returning residents face different rules about benefits and coverage. If you're in one of these categories, seek specific guidance rather than assuming standard procedures apply to you. They probably don't. Nothing in Israeli bureaucracy is ever straightforward. Entrepreneurs planning to start businesses need business banking, which is an entirely separate adventure involving additional requirements, more paperwork, and possibly animal sacrifice. If you're planning to establish a business, research requirements early and consider professional help. If you're arriving with substantial assets or complex financial situations, engage specialized counsel familiar with Israeli law and international financial regulations. Moving significant wealth across borders involves tax implications and reporting requirements that benefit from professional guidance. This is not the time to DIY based on information from internet forums. Opening a bank account represents more than a financial transaction. It's a rite of passage, a symbolic step in your integration into Israeli society. Your bank account connects you to the Israeli economy, enables you to receive government support, and provides the foundation for building your financial life in your new home. Yes, the process involves bureaucracy, paperwork, and fees. Yes, you'll have moments of confusion and frustration. Yes, you'll question why opening a bank account needs to be this complicated. But thousands of people successfully complete this process every year, and you will too. The Israeli banking system, despite its quirks, is stable and functional. The country's banks are well-regulated, technologically advanced, and surprisingly supportive of new immigrants. The preferential terms offered to Olim reflect a national understanding that immigration involves financial challenges and that supporting economic integration benefits everyone. Armed with knowledge about the airport form, required documents, the appointment process, and what to expect long-term, you're ready to open your Israeli bank account. Remember the key points. Guard that airport form like it contains the secret to eternal life. Open your account quickly. Bring all necessary documents. Allow plenty of time. Ask questions. Don't change your account information for several years. Be patient with yourself. Banking is just one piece of your absorption journey, but it's a foundational one. Getting this right creates a stable platform that supports your adjustment in countless other areas. Take the time, seek help when needed, and trust that the confusion of early days will give way to familiarity. Welcome home to Israel, where the banking is bureaucratic, the fees are numerous, and you'll develop strong opinions about financial institutions within approximately 3 weeks. May your forms be properly stamped, your absorption payments arrive on time, and your account balance remain positive. Bahatzlaka, you're going to need it, but you're also going to be fine.